everybody, it's Joel from Silvero Cars, and this is our driving video of our 1959 Devin C. Pretty rare bird little car, very cool for the 1950s or the end of the 1950s. It's powered by a 2.7 liter Corvair flat 6, and it's a bit of a hot rod. The engine was completely built by a company down in the US for about $15,000. There's a lot of pictures of it in the auction itself. Just waiting for some traffic to pass and then I'll take off. You're not going to hear me much. It's an open car. It does have a pretty basic top, which is obviously not on the car and probably never will go on the car. But you're not going to be able to hear me much. We're going to try and keep the microphone as low as possible. Please take this video with a grain of salt as far as the audio, and it's mostly meant just to get a sense of the car, how it rips, how it is out here, and we'll wrap it up with that. But seriously, if you're at all considering buying a Speedster replica or something like that to rip around whatever town it is you live in for the same amount of money, a bit more, I would buy this thing. It's a real car. It was built by Devin Enterprises. It's titled as a 59, and it's cool as shit. So thanks, and let's take it for a rip. Have a super short exhaust built by Kenny Butcher here in Victoria, custom headers on it. There isn't a lot of back pressure, so you do get a lot of pops and crackles coming out of the exhaust. Clutch does chatter a little bit, that's a heads up, and the only other thing, oil temperature gauge doesn't seem to be working. And maybe I didn't mention it, the transmission is transversely? It's mounted in a reverse pattern, so it's a 4-speed, but it gets a bit weird to shift. You forget that the H pattern is in reverse. So as you're clipping along in 4th gear, you forget that you're going where you're going, really. Takes a little bit of getting used to. Everything's been Transmission was rebuilt, differential was rebuilt. Obviously, it's basically a new engine that was done by the Ray Sedman. And you'll find pictures in the auction of the built of the motor when it was built sitting on the crate. It's only got now 423 miles on the entire car. So essentially, it took years for the current owner to do the build and to finish it off. And by the time he got to the end, like a lot of people, he was a little bit exhausted and tapped out. That's why people are getting the opportunity now to purchase it. It's a very cool car. The story with Devin Enterprises and the Devin cars is very interesting. I strongly suggest reading up on them. And of course, this car was bought basically from Bill Devin through his buddies Tom Schrum and Jeff Moore of the Automotive Archaeologists. This is going to wrap it up. We're selling the car out of Victoria, BC on a BC registration. We can get the car anywhere that it needs to go, no problem. Contact us, contact seller button, or silverarrowcars.com on the internet. This car's flipping around.